And now it's time for a more lighthearted segment, a tip for good. So Nathan, why do we do tips for good every week?
Well, Michael, I'm so glad you asked because we do tips for good every week because I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you shouldn't because your wife and daughter are sleeping at home and they need you around. You can't just fly away on a jet plane, Nathan, like some unmarried dink like me.
You are married.
Or not unmarried. Childless dink. I guess a childless dink is redundant. But
So the other day, I was on Instagram and I was seeing this. There's this woman that was was doing an Instagram reel where it was like the worst part of being a woman with a child is knowing that makes JD Vance happy.
yeah. That sounds like something Jess would say.
Yeah, and it made me automatically think of Jess. So so I guess I would say I praise you because you are the longer you remain childless, the more disappointed JD Vance is going to be in you.
Yeah, especially as a white dude. So
yeah,
really, I'm doing my part to piss off JD Vance.
And you know what pissing off JD Vance does? Pissing off JD Vance makes the world a better place.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let's just do that.
Let's do that. Yeah, that's
okay.
I mean that's why we do tips for good. That's
good
actually
idea.
the real reason.
Okay. All right.
I don't know why we talked about like the jet plane and shit. Like
it's mostly
feels
to make
like
the
we
world
should
a
just
better place.
Feels like we should just skip to you cut to the chase,
Yeah.
and just make the world a better place.
Good idea.
All right,
so how are we
Michael,
going to do that?
Yeah, what is our tip for good this week?
Okay. Our tip for good this week is a little bit nuanced, but we know that right now it is cathartic as fuck to shit all over the Trump administration in everything they do.
Yeah.
I just saw a meme that compared RFK to a Nazi, which given his, eugenic whistled speech the other day about autism, I think is a pretty apt comparison. But the problem is jumping on the bandwagon or riding that wave can leave us open or exposed or vulnerable to being taken advantage of in other ways. So our tip for good is to remain precise in the things about this administration that you protest, rebel against, and that make them evil and fascistic. Because that meme comparing RFK to a Nazi that I saw the other day, which at first was really cathartic, was comparing him to a Nazi because he's trying to remove artificial dye from foods. And I don't know that much about artificial dye or whether it's bad for you or not. But the idea that he's a Nazi because, at least ostensibly, he's trying to remove something that he thinks is harmful for you from foods seems a lot like something that like a big food manufacturer would start to put out in order to try to like jump on the bandwagon and try to discredit that so that they can keep putting cheap shit in the food.
And look, I don't know. I don't personally know off the top of my head if Hitler regulated food dye. But if he did, I would say that there are a few things that he did that were probably worse than that.
Just off the top of your head, you could probably name a couple. Yeah. So it's just too easy to be taken advantage of if all we're doing is jumping on the bandwagon. We should remain precise, be critical, and really stay focused on supporting our values and our beliefs.